Hello YouTube, you join me back in the garage, back with the Mondeo, another lockdown edition, so not too much has changed. Unfortunately can't get the prop shaft still quite hard to get parts and stuff. Managed to get a couple of service parts and things, so got a bit of content for today. Got some jobs to show you, nothing too exciting. Might even throw in an oil change in another car, video that just for a bit of entertainment. But yeah, we'll get a couple of things done, just a couple of little bits that need to be tidied up while there's nothing else I can do. So yeah, join me along for the ride. This is going to be the first job on today's list. What I've managed to get here on my, well, a couple of months ago I managed to get these from a second-hand dealer. These are apparently not that common. So basically what this is the, I don't know if we can get a nice look on that, but this is basically the whole interior and radio surround from a Sport. Now, the Sports are black where mine was brushed aluminium. I have painted I've painted one set and I've wrapped one set of mine. The one that I've got currently in the car is wrapped, and I'm just not entirely happy with it. Whereas these, obviously, got some really good condition ones. I've got a couple of little smudges that'll clean off, but no real scratches or anything. It's going to just look much better. So that's going to be the first job today. You're going to join me in taking all this apart, well, out the Mondeo, and then putting all these bits in. So let's go along to that. Maybe some swearing, maybe some cut hands. Should be pretty easy to do though. So let's go along for the ride. Right, so here we are in the office. First things we're going to need a little prizing tool, and we're going to need some of them little Torx head thingies. So what you want to do first is pop off these guys. Now mine's going to be extremely tight because this is wrapped. So luckily I'm not too worried about these because obviously I'm replacing them. So you just get your tool into this edge here, and you'll see, just to show you, there's 3 little clips on either of these triangles, so you just pop them off. As I said, mine are going to be really tight because it's wrapped. So off the back we can pop this thingy here. Remember, this one comes out the back somehow. There we go. So that's that one off, and then basically this thing, you just push these guys and it pushes out the front, but we will get to that. Right, so what that's going to do is that's going to show you the 4 screws here. So let's get those guys out. You don't want to lose them. I think I might have actually lost one. I know these ones are all in. There is a place where I'm sure I've lost a screw before, and once you've got the center console off, if you drop anything down there and you're unlucky enough for it to go into the gear linkage system, I don't think you're ever going to fish things out. So yeah, onto this. Get these bad boys out of here. Come on. Right, so that's those 4 off. Now, don't go get silly and start pulling on here. There's 2 more screws underneath here, and what you have to do for that, we have to remove the whole sort of gear, the gear selector part, and this part down here. We need to lift that all up. I am going to replace that anyway, as this little section here is connected to it, and I'm pretty sure this is painted. It doesn't look so great. So I'm going to just replace that with the bottom one. I have got some bits that are, some silver bits that have been painted black, which I'm going to swap over, because I'm trying to just de-chrome a little bit, yeah. I mean, the little bits of chrome are fine. I might use the chrome rings. We'll see how it goes. So first thing, we're gonna pop this out here, lift it up and away, then pull on this guy and he just pops out. Now the heated seat switch is also connected to this, so you got to remember to disconnect that. I'll tell you what, let's get you this way, it might be easier for you to see. So yeah, that's all just pulled off of there. As I said, the heated seat switch, just get in the gas so it might be easier. It's a bit fiddly to get to, but there we go, that's off. And then you could just remove this whole thing out the way here. Let's get you back in position so you can see that. So just flip it around, push it through, try not to scrape up stuff too much, and there we go, that's that off. Little bits I'm going to keep those. I'm going to keep the seat heater switch if I can get that out, because that's a black one. Basically that's from a Mark III. So that's that part out. Shove one there for now. This damn thing fell off of there. We'll sort that out. Aftermarket laugh. Right, that's fine for there. Now back to these screws. So there is two little screws here, one there, one there. Got to get those guys out. Ugh. Who's tighten these in the Hulk or what? Come on, get off. Oh, jeez. I must have been eating my Wheaties the last time I put these in. They're freaking tight. Okay, that, now as I say, mine's going to be a bit tight because it's all wrapped, as you heard then, all the wraps sort of coming up. We'll discuss why I did that, why I had these wrapped instead of painting, and well, I've actually done both, so we'll discuss that in a minute. Let's get these out of there. See wires behind there because of the Android head unit, sorry. But there we go, that's this off. It's got black heater control buttons from a S-Max, I think, and then I've got the three on the top. These are quite hard to find. The one with the parking sensors on the front's a lot easier to find, but mine didn't have parking sensors on the front. I think they're of S-Max and a C-Max, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, something like that. Right, let's get back to the bench and get these things swapped over. Right then, so the next step, we're going to skin all these bits out. We are going to need a screwdriver to get the screws out of the back of that one and put them all into the new bits. Now, I've got the new bits here next to me. Should be nice and easy, just pop one off of one and one onto the other. So where's this little thing? Come on, there we go. Get out of there. As I say, pretty tight because it's all wrapped. And it's just the reverse to get them in, you just push them in. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Right, while I got these off, let's see if I can get to these clips without having to scrape it up too much. So that's one, that's off. So easily they pop off when it's not wrapped. So as you can see, it's not great. It's not a wait. So it's not great. It's bubbling. I had problems when I had these painted. Obviously, because it's such a weird shape, it's hard to get nice and painted nicely. But what happened was, obviously it's sitting on the dash. Snoopy, sitting on the dash, the heat had got to it and it started bubbling. It lasted for about 6 months before the heat did get to it, but obviously that's through winter. So let's carry on now, get the rest of these through, get a little screwdriver, get that open. Super lazy I am, so if I can use a tool for something, I will. I don't recommend putting the screws back into the new one with this tool. That might be a bit hectic. So yeah, there's the old one, as you can see, wrapped and not so great. New one should just fit like a glove. There we go. Now, I have noticed there's a couple of little nicks on here. A little sneaky tip that I've learned. Grab yourself a Sharpie and just touch it up. See if you can get the Sharpie in there. Now this is unfortunately how you'll find most of these black dials, because they are out of an S-Max, and I don't think breakers care for them very much, so a lot of the stuff you get is quite scratched up. Yeah, I think that's going to make a lot of a difference there. Unfortunately it's a bit of a scratch, this one, so it won't quite get in there right. But I think that's going to look much better, and that's dry, you're not going to see that. So get these back into here. 4 screws and that's in. As I say, I don't really recommend using a drill. I don't really recommend using a power tool to put things back in. But I'm just lazy. Nice and slow. Don't want to pull the post off of the actual the front fascia. Oh, for goodness sake. Get in there. Okay. Got one in there. Cool. So that's that on. Next bit, start button. Now it's just 2 little prongs on here. You push it and it should go through. Now obviously mine's going to be really tight because, as I said, you can see there it's just ripping up all the vinyl. And that was actually a pretty good job that somebody did on that. So it's unfortunate, but just goes to show it's pretty hard to keep vinyl for long. And there we go. See, it was sticking in before too a little bit. So that is great. So next little bit. This guy. Now, silver bits I'm talking about with this trim here and this trim here. Well, considering I might actually leave it, to be honest. That's easy enough to pop off afterwards. I can put this all together and we can check it out. What's going on there? come away a little bit there. That's a pity. That's a pity, but I think it'll be fine. It's just maybe needs a bit of glue under there. A bit of something that's been pushed away. As I say, it's not the end of the world with this one. My one's in pretty good condition, but we'll check it out. We'll make sure it all goes into there nicely, it all sits up, and then I'll see about the rings. So let's start getting stuff in the car, I think. Right, so basically now it's just a reverse of what we did before. So top on first, then I forgot to do the ashtray, because I am going to replace the ashtray. My one's not so great. Just lost the... What I was saying earlier about dropping stuff underneath here. Well done. So yeah, let's see if I can get this ashtray out and let's hold in my little clippy thing. There we go. Pull that guy out of there. Pull my hijacked wiring out the back. As you can see, it's not the greatest. This is actually painted. It's got a big scratch in it here. I wasn't very happy with that from the beginning. Let's see if I can find that plastic tab in a minute. But let's get the other one of those. Because that's the first thing that needs to go on. So there we go. Nice clean black one. Doesn't have... I can open it though. There we go, just stole my globe from the old one. So, these guys go into here. That's, and these guys. Oh, come on, go into there. A bit of a fart, but they're on. That's on there, that's on there. Right. Then you just gotta push it back in till it clips. Oh, come on. I've got so many wires back here that it makes it a real mission. As I say, I'm hijacking wires and all sorts of stuff in the back of here to wire stuff. So that makes life a little bit harder. Alright, that's that back on. Climate control stuff. Get that back on. Oh, get on, you fiddly bugger. Alright. That's that on. Connect up all the buttons. And just remember to pull the start button through, or else you could lose that bar in the back, and that'll be a pain. And then it's just a matter of lining it all up and giving it a little friendly push. And there it is. That's that all in. Time for the 6 bolts now. There we go. Must say that's looking 100 times better already. Just needs a good clean. It's got no scratches or anything on it. Really liking that. That was a good choice, I think. Let's pop these blanking plate buggers on here. Oh, so easy. Life is so easy when it just works from the factory, I guess. Perfect, we're in. Right, now onto the bottom piece. Now, as I say, I've left the silver chrome pieces on here for now. Let's just show you. I need to lift this up. So I've left the drinks around and a couple of things on for now. Don't forget to get the heating seat switch under there. Oh, come on, you little bastard. Gotta love doing things by feel. It's my favourite. Oh, what the fuck. There we go. That's that on. Right. Fiddly bugger. So push them in that side. Push them in. Come on. Why is it not going? He's being a bit of a fiddle getting in, I must say. Let's put you guys back down. There we are. So I can do two-handed pushing. There we go. There he is. Sorted. Shut this little thing back down there. And my little blocker. Right, now get this thing on. I have got an aftermarket stitched booty, which I probably should have just got one from a Titanium X Sport, to be honest. Probably cheaper. Definitely would have been easier. But yeah, you just gotta make sure it all goes in around. Come on, get in there. I think that's in. It does sit a little bit proud, this, as I say, because it's got the thicker stitching on this than the Sport one, so it does stick up a little bit further. It's a bit of a pain, but I actually kind of like it. It sticks up like that. It's different. And there we go. Now complete. So see if I can get a. So I can show you it now. So that's much better than it was before. I have also got so that bit's painted. That, for some reason, lasted quite well. It has got a little bit of a mark over there, but that lasted quite well. I have got the Sport one of these, but it's done in carbon fibre. All the Sports are apparently, and I don't like that. I think it looks a bit tacky. So black for me. I would like to get the ones off of the doors. These here, and paint those. But you know what? The thing is, I've got this huge conversion on going at the moment. I'm only going to take on so many things. So that's that job for today done. Let's get on to something a bit more dirty, I think. Okay guys, so the next thing we're going to do on this is a tiny little service. What I'm going to do, first things first, we're going to do an oil change. May do the plugs before we get it started. To be honest, I have got another set of plugs. I think I'm probably just going to leave these because they were absolutely fine. This car does probably about 3,000 miles a year, and those were changed last summer. So yeah, so obviously for any of you who don't know how to do an oil filter change, first things first, an oil change of today. First things first, we're going to pop open the sump plug, which is under the back there, drain it all into there. And then there is also, where this little filter goes, it's, oh, I don't know if you can see that, it might be a bit dark. It's down there. So this little thing unscrews, and then we put the new filter in there. But yeah, first things first, I'm going to pop off the drain plug. We're going to just let some oil out, so hopefully I don't get it all over myself. But let's see. Okay. Try not to get too dirty while we're doing this. I figured out what I'll do is I'll do this before I do my overalls on, but I might be taking a chance here.
Getting quite oily and dirty, I think. It's about a 17, I would say. 17 or 19 maybe. Yes. Nice and dirty. Considering the oil was changed not so long ago, it's nice and black. This doesn't smell like anything, just smells like oil. Now, quick tip to you guys, should always replace the copper O-ring on here. Luckily I've got a couple spare somewhere, gotta find them. But yeah, while there's a gloopy oily goodness drain out of here, hopefully it doesn't fill my bucket up. Seems to be getting pretty damn close, but yeah, while we let that drain out, I think what we'll do is we'll prepare for the next part of this, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the other Ford the same thing. So you guys might see a Transit Connect getting an oil change too, just for the fun of it. Let's have a look.
So I think what I'll do quickly, I'll just give you a quick walk around this dirty thing. So it's a 2005 Mark 1 1.8 TD DI, I think it is. It's the low powered one. What we did, my dad searched forever to get one that had a decent body. The mileage isn't actually even high on this thing. It's only about 70,000 or something. So we stuck some old Mondeo wheels on it. They fitted quite nicely, 18s on it. Now, it was an ex-British gas van, so it's got uprated rear suspension, hence this massive thing. What we did on the inside, we took my old Mark 4 seats, stuck them in. Haven't wired up the heating just yet, but that's there. We had to stick the bulkhead back in for now, just because we've got nowhere to store it. Stuck a Mark 6 ST steering wheel in there. And yeah, I mean, the seats all bolted up pretty well. We made some little brackets for the back, but yeah, that's all sorted. Let's see otherwise what else do we have. Let me grab the keys here quick, show you in the back. It's got dead bolts all around this damn thing, so nobody can steal them, although there's nothing ever in here. And well, as you can see, Snoopy likes it. Well, there's the back. So we just cleared it out a little bit and put some like rubberized stuff in here. As you can see, there was all wires everywhere for lights. All the storage racking was once upon a time in here, but the guy who had it before us has removed all that and just left the bulkhead in. So yeah, it's relatively clean little van. Does what's right. Takes the dogs around. Takes the rubbish around. Doesn't get too much love. Doesn't get used very much nowadays either. So this is sort of the dump car other than the Fiesta. So let's give it a little bit of love and do a little bit of a service. We'll do a oil change on this thing too. Just a very quick note, if you're ever doing one of these, have a look first before you jack it up. Jacked up on the wrong side, the sump plug's on that side. I'm going to have to put it, take the jack off and put it outside. At least it wasn't too hard to do. That's the sump plug out on the dirty diesel. It actually looks like it didn't even have a copper washer on here. Not even the remnants or one. I don't know what's going on here. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. Sure, I got one that'll fit this. This is a bit smaller thread, but I think I've got a few. So I'm sure I got a copper one for this. We'll get it sorted out. Next step, that little thing down there is getting the filter out. So you need a special socket. What size is it there? 36mm. I've already bought one of these because I've done this a few times. That bad boy is going to be quite tight, so I've already loosened it. It's especially tight, as you can see, because I've got a massive the big Nembo plenum on here, and I got an aftermarket ECU cover, so it is quite tight in here. Try to do it without scratching everything up. Because it is very tight in there. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying not to bang this ECU cover up too much, I don't want to scratch it. So, come on. Okay, that looks like, feels like it just popped off. Let's have a feel here. And there he comes. Now, let's get that off first. That's what goes around the filter. So turn that off. And it's just a bit hard, as I said, with the tightness that I've got under here, to get the filter off with it. So there's the filter there. It actually doesn't look too bad. Yeah, rather change it sooner than later though. But the one thing I did want to show you guys, let me just stick that on there so I don't lose them. Now we can see this. Still dripping a bit, but it's absolutely brimmed my pan. I thought it was going to spill out. That must be like a 6.5 litre pan, because I think it takes 6.4 litres in here or something like that, if I did read it out online. Yeah, so that was fun. Got a bit nervous waiting for that. But what I do want to do when this is drained, obviously put the sump plug back in, all this dirtiness up here, all the old oil and road crap, I'm going to try and give it a bit of a clean, see what I can do to just spruce it up. There's a lot of oil that comes down from around, let me see if I can show you. So where the catch can runs and goes into the, oh, you can't quite see it there, it's hard to see, but you see there and there, it goes into the modified plate for the oil return from my catch can, and it sort of weeps a little bit of oil around there. Not much. I mean, I've probably cleaned it once before, and that's how dirty it is now. But we'll give it a clean, make it look all good and spick and span, I think. Right. So, old filter, new filter. Look at the difference in those two. So your new kit should come with an O-ring too. That's the one that goes around there. So I'm just going to basically pop that off, pop that one in, and yeah, stick it in and start screwing it, I think. Okay, so as I said, old filter off, shove that one in the box just to make life easier and throwing it away. What I like to do is, before I put these on, I like to just give everything a bit of a wipe down. This thing, I think, actually does come out of there. I think I've had that little central part out of there before, but no need to take it out at all. Just wipe it down with a cloth. It doesn't actually, as you see, it doesn't contain much oil. It sort of drains it all out by itself. So we get that. Get the old O-ring off. Something, pull them off. Right. There's a bit of oil around the O-ring where that was, so we'll clear that off a little. New O-ring, put them on. There's a nice big gap for it to sit in, so it sits in quite easily. There we go. New filter. There we go, he clips into there. And that's pretty much it. Now, with the old metal filters, you used to put a bit of oil around the top. With these, I like to just put a tiny touch around this O-ring. It's nice and dirty from my hand already. I don't think it's entirely necessary on these, but I like to do it anyway. So
We got a little drop of oil on my finger. Just run it around the O-ring, so when we screw it back in place it makes a nice seal. So let's try and get this thing in there. Come on, you bastard. There we go. As I say, very fiddly with this aftermarket plenum and air breather kit and all the lovely stuff that I've got on. There we go, now the O-ring's starting to bite. Have a long thread. There we go, it's starting to tighten now. There you get your 36. Make sure it's on tighten. And just nip it up. And that's it. Done. Filter change complete. So it's not so hard to do. Something pretty much anyone can take on. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you've done this before. For those very few people out there who haven't, there it is, done. Right, the next step, got you the new filter. Now the old filter is, don't think you're going to be able to see it, but it's right down the bottom there. It looks nearly impossible to get to from the top, but I'm hoping from underneath it's going to be easier to get to. I have got one of those things. You get simpler ones. That one's just got a vice grip end to twist it off, because it's one of those old style can looking things, and you can be quite tight. So let's get that off. Okay, so that is the sump plug now on this thing, and the new filter on. Obviously wiped a bit of oil around that rim, stuck it up and under. As you can see by my gloves, these are a new pair of gloves and they're dirty as hell. So last bit for that, we're going to fill that with some oil, and then this bad boy, we're going to get the sump plug up underneath it, fill him with oil too. So yeah, that's probably the next thing you're going to see. Okay, so that's enough messing about with the transit. That's all done. Time to fill this thing full of oil. Put the sump plug on. You saw the new filter. So let's fill it with oil now. Reading online, I think it says it's 6.4 liters, something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck about 6 liters in, and then just measure it and check it again. Obviously I can't start the thing, I can't roll it over yet, so I will check the oil once it's been started, but I'm going to get it to a decent full level at the moment. Right guys, that's going to be about it for today. Got nothing else to do, unfortunately. Seen a couple of oil changes, seen some interior bits being put in. Hopefully we've got some more stuff planned for the next, we get some more stuff planned out for the next video. There's lots of little bits. There's a steering angle sensor that I need to change. There's a few things, nothing really pertaining to the actual build of the all-wheel drive system, but you know, the whole car is a build altogether, so every little bit counts. Now, right now, as I say, nothing left to do. Still waiting for the prop shaft.
I just need to hear some you know, as soon as they get back and they can tell me how big the CVs are, I know which transfer case to put in, and then I can start fabricating an exhaust, start thinking about that. So yeah, hopefully within the next couple of weeks we get that back together. Otherwise we're going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel here, doing silly things. Do have some stuff planned for that thing once upon a time, when the time is right, I should say, but we'll see how that goes. Until the next time though, here's hoping that everybody's staying well and everybody's safe,